Hello, my beautiful minions. I'm back. I finally managed to get my water cooler again after, I don't know, a month. First, they managed to get my water cooler broken. They break it and they send it to me, and I have to check it and spend almost a week or so with it and testing, and it was indeed broken. So then it takes a few days for them to finally accept their RMA. Then it takes a few days for me to ship it to them, then another few days for them to test it, and then they reply saying that no, we ran out of stock. And then I had to wait a little bit more to get on a Black Friday, a more expensive one, because they ran out of stock. And when I finally buy it on Black Friday with 1% discount, yes, that's the shithole I live in. They take a week to ship it because they weren't prepared with some money sales. Then after that week, they ship, and then I have to spend another week because the mail lost the package. Yay! And then we have to contact the company again, and then they contact the mail, and they finally find it. I get it on Monday. I spend the entire day trying to install this on Monday because it involved fiddling with a few things on my computer. Then after that, wait, where was I? I spent another day yesterday testing, and so far it seems to be going A-okay. You can see the temperatures right nope, around here. I finally added just so you can see that I got the temperature under check, and my computer is not cooking eggs anymore. Anyway, so I wanted to do a quick summary of the events of this week that got me slightly riled up, because, well, stupid doesn't stop at one stupidity at once. I don't know what I was going to say. I was expecting this stupid to stop being stupid after finding out that they did something stupid once, but he just keeps doing it. First stupid thing, Marvel. They haven't learned a single thing from their shitty sales. Their sales are down the drain. They failed completely, miserably. They are less than what? A small YouTuber? Well, bigger than me, but still. It's just like 5,000, 10,000 of magazines being sold, of comic books being sold. That's just too little for a company like Marvel. They're practically losing money. The only thing that's keeping them afloat is the Marvel Universe movies. And then they said, okay, we'll stop with pandering to the social justice warriors. But no! They kind of backtracked it, and now they're releasing even more crap. So, after, for example, Image, before I go more into detail of Marvel, Image released a press release, it said that they fired the guy who was doing the G.I. Joe, and let's just say it was a disaster. The guy said he was constantly pandering to communists, leftists, and he even said that if you didn't live in New York, you were not allowed to mourn the 9/11. And he managed to make a white male into a I don't know, a dyke, if I'm going to be crude. So they fired him. Now back to Marvel. As you can see, the shit doesn't stop there. So we have here Marvel doing stupid things again, as you can see, Marvel anti-hero books in 2019. What do? They become a pansexual and gender fluid. They're going to make Loki a pansexual and gender fluid. Well, at least they kept the white male and they didn't do "we was Vikings and shit." But, well, completely different from the movies where they went to "we was Vikings and shit." But it's still, why? Sure, Loki transforming himself into other sexes just to fuck with people, but that's him. That doesn't mean he's a pansexual gender fluid. And the shit just keeps getting better, because it's not enough, the current LGBT characters. They need to have more. And they need to change the ones already existing to fit the narrative or their bubble. No, they couldn't create something different. They couldn't make something unique or anything. That requires work, which is something these people are not interested in doing. They don't care to work. They don't want to work. So instead, they change something already existing into something that fits the narrative. And here we have a tweet. First, it's about the LGBT plus community was representing superhero narratives. Second, in the comics, Loki is reborn as a woman and uses female pronouns. There you go, he just keeps getting worse. And often takes on female forms like Scarlet Witch and Lady Sif. Odin calls him my child, who is both. Just shoot me. That's why they will keep losing sales. So at least with confidence I can say until 2019 they are still going to fuck around. They're still going to create mediocre comics. And well, now moving on to beyond this, to Magic the Gathering. And this is the interesting bit. It means that Wizards of the Coast has the complete total power to ban you on their services for whatever you do in your real life outside of their venues or games. That means if you said something naughty in McDonald's to someone and they report you to Wizards of the Coast, they can ban you on Magic games and take your DCI number or ban you from any openings or releases or tournaments or anything related to Wizards of the Coast. So that means they have complete and total power over your life. Yeah, imagine that. If you a few examples, if you said something questionable on KFC to your friend and that friend got triggered and reported to Valve and suddenly you are not allowed to play your games anymore on Steam. And that's exactly what happened to UnsleevedMedia or TheQquartering. He lost his access to everything because a cosplayer said she was suffering a systematic harassment by this guy. But she wasn't. He only made one single video talking about her, how she was using predatory techniques to get lonely guys or horny teenagers to give money to her so she could pay for whatever thing she wanted on her Patreon. And he commented on that she was taking advantage of the guys in there, because let's face it, Magic is a geek game, and you know that eventually every male who plays it, who is 98% of the demographic, is going to be somewhat damaged in the social aspect. So it's easy for a beautiful woman to take advantage of the said person. So anyway, TheQquartering or UnsleevedMedia made one single stream talking about her and a couple of tweets, 3 or 4 or something like that. And she said, "No, it was systematic harassment. And then the shitstorm ensues, and everyone believes what she says and keeps attacking UnsleevedMedia or TheQquartering, and he ended up getting banned on any Magic game, and even Magic Online, which he had a lot of money deposited in there. So essentially, he lost everything, and he made a petition, so you can sign up, so that there is at least an attempt to restore his account. But he said he's not going to stop on this. And then after a few days, what does she do? Well, here is what she does. There you go. There you go. But here's what she does. Everyone knew, or we suspected, that she was just doing this to garner a little bit more money before something, or because her Patreon was going down considerably, she created some drama so she could get more pity money on her Patreon, and that's exactly what happened. And now, after all this comes out that she was actually just leaving because she has classes on January. Look at this. Before the end of December, I'll be deleting my Patreon. I have finally been able to sign up for my CNA certification classes that start in January. The waitlist was a little long, but I feel like this is the perfect timing to focus on something else and reflect on myself and try to be a better person. You really, really need to work on that. Trust me. You really need to. And there you go. That's what she did. She's closing up because she has classes on January. So what the hell? Burn off the bridges, burn everything down, and get some pity money in the process. And that's what she did. A lot have asked if I'll be cosplaying. I'll be taking a break from all cosplay for a bit. Never said I was quitting cosplay altogether. As for Magic cosplay, like I said numerous times, I still would like to finish the last few you guys helped me buy materials for and do photo shoots of. Where are the colons? I was thinking of maybe doing the mailing list via email for patrons so they can see their photos. Or any other way if someone has a great suggestion, like maybe a private Instagram for patrons only, with a link to a Dropbox to get high-res pictures as well. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't ask. But as you can see here, she just burned everything down, and now she's kind of, I don't know what she's suggesting. Sorry, English broke down. What she's suggesting there in the last bit is solicitation, that? Probably not, unless she sends nudes. But anyway, and this is exactly the entire problem in the Magic community. There are way too many social justice warriors ruining everything, and as it turns out, I've heard rumors of other card games where they got infested with these idiots. So basically, our hobbies are being destroyed, our fun, our games are being completely destroyed by these people. And the worst of all, most of them, the vast majority that they pander to, will not or has ever played a card game or any of those geek games or anything. And then what you do? You keep losing sales, end up like Marvel, or canceling a comic book from Hasbro, the DiAngelo. And the same thing is going to happen to Games Workshop and Warhammer. And they just had an article asking for that. and I've already addressed some of the the situation, or some of the stuff already written by the feminists in a previous video that I've already done. I've already done so a few of those things, and they just keep coming. I know I'm not a big fish or anything like that. Well, big fish as in quite literal, but not in the figurative speech, in that my channel matters much for them. I'm just a small time YouTuber, but I've already addressed those problems, and I've made videos about it. That it just doesn't work. Their argument just doesn't make sense, and they will ruin Warhammer if we don't stop these people from ruining it. Anyway, this is it for this week or these few days. Hopefully I'm gonna start making even more videos now that my computer can handle it. Look at those beautiful temperatures. Oh, and by the way, before I finish off, I just remember Orville rules. That was amazing. I watched the entire season. So sad it was so short with 12 episodes. But it was amazing. That's it. The last episode, let's just say it has a combination of Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek The Next Generation. It has a combination of 2 episodes of those 2 Star Treks as the finale of the season 1. You will enjoy it if you watch all the seasons of Star Trek. Anyway, see you later, my beautiful minions. Yes, I keep telling you how beautiful you are, my little babies. Don't tell anyone I don't love you. Take care. Ta-ta!